Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Camellya and Lumi, two new characters that have come to Wuthering Waves, and honestly, I'm blown away, and I'm super excited for the future of not just Wuthering Waves, but also just gacha games, because I feel like they have really been stepping up their game when it comes to characters. Recently, we've seen games like Genshin Impact really start to implement more kind of like exploration into their new characters kits, right? And then we saw Wuthering Waves kind of follow suit. Now, there could be other games that are doing this, games that have done it before. This is just from my experience. I just noticed kind of Genshin has done it, and now I'm noticing Wuthering Waves is doing it. I don't really play too many others, so if I missed any, I do apologize. But I feel like it's like a really cool aspect because it gives you another reason to wish for a character. It's another bonus, a perk for having that character. And it's really cool and makes life easier in the game, which is awesome. But now Wuthering Waves has taken it a step further. You know, Camellya has come home, thank God. Scooper, what are the odds? The odds are slim. The odds are slim, but we win with slim odds. We win with slim odds. Oh, she's home. She's home. After 120 pulls and a 50-50 loss.
Oh.
These little, like, animated cutscenes when you get a 5-star is so sick. And I'm having such a fun time playing with her. She is so strong, so amazing, and honestly just so useful. So instead of the focus being on exploration, she's able to switch between single target and AoE. I think that this is awesome and super effective. Sometimes in the Tower of Adversity, we see you get to the last chamber, and we see that the first part of it is, you know, multiple enemies. So being able to go into AoE, take them out with ease, and then switch over to single target as we get to the big boss, that is awesome. I think that is super cool. That gives us a lot of like duality within these challenges, which is just really cool. It's easier to adapt and to shift to our opponents and to our enemies, which is, I think, is just awesome. I think that's such a unique and cool thing, and it's just so fun. It really is. It makes the game so much easier. She's so broken. Not only can she switch between AO and single target, but I mean, you just hold down left click and then she kills everything. She is skill issue friendly, and I have tons of skill issue. So I've been really enjoying her, and she's just been making the game like a breeze. Like, endgame content is that really endgame still? Like, it seems pretty easy with Camellya. She's absolutely insane. She's really fun and easy to build. So she's just been absolutely awesome. I think that this new direction is going to be so cool and so interesting, because when I first saw this, I'm like, all right, single target AoE, that's so cool. Well, what else can you do? How can you take it to that next step? What about elements? You know, in Wuthering Waves, my biggest problem with, I guess, like the combat or with the game is the element system. And I guess I heard that they had something more in depth, but it didn't receive well, and they kind of tanked it and scrapped it last minute. And that explains why the elements in the game are kind of useless. It's not like they give you any bonus or perk or, you know, can do something. They're just resistances, right? You just can't use the same element, for the most part, against an enemy with that element. Right, so I think something that would add more to that and be kind of cool, and then take it a next step on this duality kind of aspect on these resonators, would be having a resonator with two elements that can switch with their skill. That would be awesome. That'd be so cool. It would make it so much fun to kind of go through endgame content with them. You can do like a little part of their kit where if you have resonators with the same element in their party, well, then they're able to do bonus damage, and then that kind of gives you a reason to kind of focus on the elements, you know? So let's say you have a new resonator, right? And they're Aereo and they are Havoc, right? That's the two they can switch on. If you have like one member of your party that has Aereo or Havoc or both, they're able to get a little bump, right? A little something easier to make them a bit stronger, a bit cooler, a bit more like impactful in endgame content, right? But if you have two with a certain element, it does even more. So you have the option of, do you want to kind of split it and have another Aereo and another Havoc in that team, and then you can enjoy both? You know, you enjoy both sides of the skill, or do you just want to hyper focus one of those elements, make it super strong, and then they're kind of like a hyper carry in that aspect, and that could be super cool. I think the duality aspect of these characters and these resonators are going to be so cool, and there's so much more that you know, Kuro is going to be able to do with them. I really think, you know, if they do the element idea, I think that's going to be super sick. I think that'd be awesome and kind of give more purpose to the actual elements. But I think that could be awesome, and I think if we're going to get into the duality aspect of these resonators, you can just do so much more. And that just makes me and hopefully you excited for new resonators coming out. And then you have Lumi, and Lumi is someone I feel like we really need to focus. Camellya came out, everyone loves her, everyone's been waiting for her. I know she's got the center of attention, you know, but Lumi, the thing that I love most about her is that the focus isn't necessarily on the end game content. There is more than just that. Now, can she probably, carry, in the Towerversity and stuff like that? Yeah, there's gonna be people out there that are gonna build her super strong, get her constellations, and then be really good with her, with good rotations and a good team comp, and be able to just absolutely do insane damage, right? But I don't think she's gonna be that character that just dummies everybody, like a juiced up 5-star, right? I think the real purpose of her, too, is mainly for just making the game fun in the overworld. I mean, the ability to switch between ranged and melee is so sick. And they're gonna burst, and you're gonna make big boom, right? And then you're gonna go there, and you're gonna go melee, and you're gonna go range, and you're super fast, and like, bah, 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 right? And then you dash in, and then you melee again. When I first saw that, I was having so much fun with it. It kind of looked like you were in a cutscene a bit, where you're jumping in, you're doing the melee attacks, and you're shooting out, and you're hitting him from range. It just looks so cool. You feel so badass when you use her, and it's just so enjoyable. And I feel like that's a part of the game that, like, gacha games kind of get away from, because everyone's trying to focus on building the strongest and best teams to do the most damage and to clear the game so much easier. But it's like, what about the characters that you just have fun with, right? What about them? Like, I feel like we gotta put more focus into them again, and doing it in a 4-star aspect is nice because you don't need to then save up for them. You're able to maybe just get one of them, like one copy, at the beginning of the banner, which I'm going to try to do for Lumi, or you can just go for them. You have the ability to kind of choose either or. If you just want to use them and have fun with them, you can just use the C0. But if you really want to build them and make them super strong and utilize them in game content, you can just get them to their, max constellation, build them strong, and then they should be useful. I mean, 4-stars are still useful in gacha games. Or at least most of them are. So I think that Lumi is such a cool addition, such a cool character, and I cannot wait for the next phase so I can wish for her, get her. It's been the first time I'm wishing for a 4-star, and then just have so much fun switching between melee and range. I think that's going to add so many cool aspects. One thing I think that they should have added is maybe do a stun with her ranged, because then that kind of gives more purpose for the switching. And I feel like when you switch, it just makes it kind of cool, right? Because if you're sitting there and you deal a certain amount of damage, let's say there's like a like a progress bar. If I'm ranged and I'm coming out and I'm firing at an enemy, let's say it kind of fills up this bar, and when the bar fills up from landed hits, it then breaks and then they get stunned. You know what I mean? And then when they get stunned, that's when you're able to switch to melee, go in and then do damage. I think something like that would be super, super, super cool. You can even maybe do it where that progress bar on world bosses or weekly bosses is like huge, so it's gonna be kind of hard to hit it. You know what I mean? That way you're not just stunning, really difficult mobs and getting free hits or something like that. And maybe just have it more for the overworld, or I don't know how they do that, but I think something like that added in would also be really cool, because then again, it gives that purpose to the switching, and then if you're switching, I feel like you're just having fun, and it's just really cool, and it kind of gives more of a purpose, you know what I mean? And then Lumi all of a sudden's like, oh, this character is pretty nice. So I'm super excited about these two characters. Hope you guys are too. Let me know in the comments down below if you got Camellya and if you are going to go for Lumi, or if you're excited for either of them. So I think it's really cool. I think the duality of it is just super fun, and it just adds such a different aspect of the game, which makes it easier for, again, content, but then also just for having fun and just messing around. So I'm excited to see what they do with it in the future. Like I said, I think the element idea would be super, super cool. I think that would be awesome. And then also, if you guys want to make an adjustment to Lumi, which I don't think that they can, but I mean, like, for maybe a future character, you switch between range and melee, again, having like that stun would be really, really cool, and kind of, again, give more purpose. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are loving this patch. I am absolutely enjoying it. But that is it. See you guys later, and peace.